the 21. It looks for a moment like Daniels might have a lane up the middle, but Lindsey filtered through, and he was the man that made the tackle. Checking that Minnesota defense, it will be Eller, Page, Larson, and Marshall across the line, as the 49ers have Brody at quarterback, Lewis and Willard, the backs behind him. McNeil flanks the near side. Witcher split left. 49ers go from our left to right. The give to Lewis. Drives across the 25 to the 27-yard line. Roy Winston, the corner linebacker. Gary Larson, defensive tackle. And the middle linebacker, Lonnie Warwick, making the stop on him as he gets across the 25 to about the 28-yard line. That's not Warwick in there at the middle linebacker spot. Now it's Wally Hilgenberg, who is playing the middle backer position instead of Warwick. So it'll be second down for the 49ers, about 4 yards to go from their own 27. Brody back to pass. Swings it out here to Lewis. Blockers in front of him. To the 30, to the 35, to the 40, to the 45. Breaks the tackle to the 50. Stumbles out of the grasp of Winston and goes to the 40-yard line of Minnesota down the far side.
That was an excellent play by the 49ers. The quick screen to the left. It wasn't a regular delay type screen where the halfback stays in and fakes the block. He automatically, as the ball is snapped, he swings wide. Brody comes back, takes his regular drop, lays it off. The linemen take one step into their man and then go out in front of the receiver. Real fine play and real fine running by Gary Lewis.
First and 10, the 49ers at Minnesota's 40-yard line. Witcher split left, McNeil flanked to the near side. Whistle for the football. Blow around out there at the 40-yard line, and some mud on it was wiped off. McNeil flanks the near side. Witcher split left. First and 10, 49ers at the Minnesota 40-yard line. Brody back to pass again. He looks. He's throwing long for McNeil. He's out here, and pass interference at the 10-yard line. Pass interference called on Paul Kasulki at the 10. And it was pass interference. He was beaten by McNeil. He did not know where the ball was. He just stuck his arm up in the air and laid his arm out on McNeil's shoulder. It's placed at the 11 where it'll be first and 10. '49ers first and 10 at the Minnesota 11. McNeil now goes wide to the left. Crow is the tight end. Brody and Banaszak the tackle. Mudd and Collette are the guard. Mosley the center. They give to Lewis on a sweep, trying to get a block. Going wide to the 10, to the 8-yard line. Driven out of bounds. Schrockman forcing him out at the 8, a 3-yard gain. The 49ers had blockers out there, but they couldn't do too much. Hugh, what happened there? The defense forced them back or what?
That's right. The Minnesota defense, such as Jim Marshall, going to the left, and Alan Page, who was playing the right tackle, they got great penetration. They slanted to the right, to the way the play was going, and they just got penetration into the offensive backfield of the 49ers.
Second down and 7 from the 8 for the 49ers. McNeil flanked the near side. The ends are in tight. Brody back to pass, looking for McNeil, for Crow. He makes a fingertip catch and goes out of bounds at the 3. Driven out of bounds by Kasulki. Great catch by Crow as he went to the sidelines at the 3. Just got that ball on his fingertips as Kasulki hit him. Knocked him out of bounds. It will be third down and 2 from the 3. Ursel McBee and Ed Schrockman are the corner men for Minnesota. Kasulki and Krause are the safeties. Third and 2 now, the 49ers at the Minnesota 3. McNeil flanks the near side. The ends in tight. The 49ers operating on the hash mark from the near sideline, going from our left to our right. Brody fakes. He looks. He throws out here, and Witcher can't hold it. Witcher was by himself. Brody lofted it possibly a little bit too high offline. Witcher was all alone. And he couldn't hold on to the ball. He juggled it. And it finally dropped away from him. The 49ers send in their field goal kicking team. I think Brody was sort of looking for Ken Willard that time, and then The last second saw Witcher free and sort of threw in between them about halfway, and Witcher couldn't hold on to it. This will be a field goal try from the 10. Myra to hold, Tommy Davis to hit. An angle from the near side. Placed down, kick. That's good. Look at the scoreboard with 11:53 remaining in the first quarter. The 49ers 3, Minnesota nothing. Time for some more exotic terms used by pro football players. Can you spot on or off the field the famous one-hand overhead pass? This is a quick move with either the right or left hand straight through a man's hair. The trick is to complete the movement without getting any grease on the hand. It can be executed beautifully if the hair is groomed with Vitalis. It's an utter flop if the hair has been subjected to greasy creams and gels. Here's another famous grease trap. You've probably seen that one sometime or other, although it's getting rare in the modern game. It's an old-time term for an old-fashioned fellow who's fallen into the trap of using greasy creams on his hair, leaving the hair vulnerable to matting and sticking and feeling slick. The antidote for the grease trap is, can you guess it? Groomed without grease. It spreads evenly, naturally, through the whole head of hair. Its name is, you've got to be able to get that one. And here's the clue, Vitalis. The announcement of a Philadelphia score, which means that Philadelphia now has dropped behind in the race for O.J. Simpson. 49ers, Davis ready to kick. Waiting, Charlie West and Bob Bryant. It's West at the 8-yard line, straight at the middle of 10, 15, comes to outside the 20. Oh, he's got a lane in the 30, he's out front at the 40. And he's being chased by Fuller and White. It's White chasing him at the 20. He drags him down at the 9-yard line. Boy, did he find a lane. Charlie West finding a lane down the left side. Fuller was backing up trying to contain him. He ran right by Fuller. And then White coming down the far side caught him. Made the tackle. It's ruled that his knee touched at just inside the 12. So Minnesota bouncing right back has it 1st and 10. At the 12. Joe Kapp at quarterback. Kapp handing off to Osborne. Hit as he gets to about the 10-yard line, maybe inside the 10 to about the 8. Skidded through there, and it'll be just inside the 9. So it'll be 3rd down, and give him about 3 yards. Call it 3rd down and 7. Oh, 2nd down and 7, I should say. 2nd down and 7 situation just inside the 9. 49ers have Belt, Lake, Kruger, and Hyman across the line. Back to pass, Kapp. He's looking. He's throwing. Out here, incomplete, intended for John Beasley, the tight end. Beasley was by himself, but Kapp overthrew him a bit. And it will be a 3rd down and 7 situation. 3rd down now, and 7 for the Vikings at the 49ers 8.5. Washington comes out wide to the near side of the split end. Tom Hall flanks to the far side. Brown and Osborne is back behind Kapp. Kapp back to pass. Look, he's hit as he throws, and Brown is there. He makes the diving catch for the touchdown. Kapp was hit. Got away, then hit again, but lofted the ball up in the air. Wilcox complaining he was interfered with. And Brown got around behind Wilcox and made a diving catch for the score. So the Vikings waste little time in coming back after the 49ers get the 3 points. Brett Cox will try for the extra point here out of the hole, Paul Krause. Placed down, kick. It's good. Look at the scoreboard with 10:39 remaining in the first quarter. The Vikings 7, the 49ers 3.
Bruce Bosley is starting center for the 49ers. He has to be right in the middle of things, and I imagine there's some funny incidents that occur out there on the field. Can you think back and name one funny one that happened?
Well, it wasn't really funny. It was downright embarrassing, and that was the time that I was supposed to send a ball to John Brody on a certain count, and I missed the count, and John pulled away, and then I tried to reach the ball back to him, and the ball shot straight up in the air. And when the ball came down, Brazy from the Baltimore Colts grabbed it and ran it 6 yards for a touchdown.
And both after the game, I guess you're hot and tired, so you had a shower and shaved. And say, I understand you use Vitalis on your head. Why Vitalis?
Well, I come back to the locker room. I know I have it sitting there. It's not greasy. It's not sticky. I put it in my hand and rub it through my hair, and it seems to do the trick. Very light.
And that was Bruce Bosley, center for the 49ers, for Vitalis.
So the Vikings bounce right back after the 49ers get the 3 points, lead 7-3 as Fred Cox will kick off now to the 49ers, Daniels and Cunningham. A big play, of course, the kickoff return by Charlie West. 7-3, the Vikings in front, 10:39 remaining in the first quarter. Cox kicks this one in the direction of Daniels. He makes the catch at the 2, up the middle of the 10, to the 15, knocked off his feet at the 20, coming across Earl Denny to get an arm on him and knock him off his feet at the 20. So it'll be 1st and 10, the 49ers. It's just inside the 20, at the 19.5. Brody at quarterback. As Ken Willard and Gary Lewis, the backs, in there with him, and McNeil flanked to the near side. Witcher split left. In the first quarter, 7-3, the Vikings lead. They give it to Lewis. A little hole. He jams through, goes to the 25. But Lewis running very hard. Got to the 25. Larson there to make the tackle along with Eller and stop him at the 25. It's about 5.5 yards gained. It'll be 2nd down. They have to go almost to the 30 for a 1st down, just a little less than 5. 2nd down situation for the 49ers. Brody gives off to Lewis, finds a hole, goes across the 30 to the 32. Knocks off his feet, and Monty Warwick is back in there to the linebacker. And he makes the tackle at the 32-yard line. It'll be a 1st and 10, 49ers. Gary Lewis has been the big man so far in the 49er attack. One long screen pass and fine carries up the middle. Now he goes wide to the left, is split end. McNeil flanked inside him, and Witcher flanked out to the near side. Brody with Willard behind him. Gives to Willard. Willard's hit by one man, gets free, and goes to about the 34-yard line for a 2-yard gain. That's all. And Winston, Page, Larson there to stop him at the 34, so it'll be a 2-yard gain. It'll be 2nd down and 8. 49ers at their own 34, 2nd and 8 with 8:30 remaining to play in the first quarter. 7-3, the Vikings lead. Brody has that same offensive formation with Lewis split to the left. Brody, long count. He's back to pass. They try to rush. He throws over the middle. Witcher stopped and then couldn't get to the ball. Witcher might have been held up or bumped or something, but it looked like he stopped as he cut in over the middle, and then when Brody lofted the ball up there, he couldn't get to it.
That was an audible call. There is a key. I can't determine it, but there is a key that shows John Brody when the Minnesota Vikings are going to put on a blitz, and they had all 3 linebackers coming that time. He changed the play, went to an audible call, and he went what they call on top. He went for 6 points, trying to hit Witcher on a pull pattern where he goes down about 15 yards. It breaks to a 45-degree angle to the inside, just man-for-man situation.
3rd down now and 8. Ball back at the 34. McNeil out to the near side as the flanker. Witcher split left. Possible safety blitz. No, they back off. They put the rush on Brody, who throws quickly to Witcher, and Witcher can't hold it as Sherotman came up to bat the ball away. That'll be 4th down. Some scores. Cleveland defeated Washington 24-21. St. Louis 28, New York 21. Detroit 24, Atlanta 7, Philadelphia 29, New Orleans 17. In the American League, New York 27, Cincinnati 14, Kansas City 3, San Diego nothing in the first quarter, Denver 7, Oakland 7 in the first quarter. West and Bryant waiting for Spurrier's kick. The line drive kick to Bryant, gets away from the first man through, gets away from another one, spins away, gets away from another one, goes across the 30 to the 31-yard line. 49ers kept spinning him around, and Tommy Hart, Ulrich, and Windsor finally got to him at the 31-yard line of the Vikings, where they'll have it first and 10. 49er defense, Hyman, Kruger, Lake, and Belts across the line. Wilcox, Beard, and Hazeltine, the linebackers. Alexander and Johnson, the wings. Phillips and Fuller. Phillips and Randolph are the safeties. Cap gives to Brown on a sweep. Gets the outside away from Hazeltine. Goes to 35 to the 40. Bounces away from him. Goes across the 47-yard line as he just knocked Alexander and Phillips out of the way with an arm and moved it to the 47 for a first down.
Billy Brown, he's an amazing little football player. He stands 5'10", weighs about 220 pounds. He is so bull-legged that it appears that you could pull a wagon between his legs. He's got great balance. He's like a rubber ball. He bounces off. He's very strong, and he's got good speed.
Osborne and Brown, the back split behind Cap at quarterback, with Hall flanked to the far side. Cap gives to Osborne. Cuts back in, gets to the outside, is grabbed by Wilcox, and down he goes at the 47. Getting a yard, and maybe not that. No gain. Right at the 47, it'll be second and 10. Wilcox, as Osborne tried to hit off tackle, then branch out to the outside, go to the far side. Wilcox spun off a block and made the grab on him there. So it's second and 10. Minnesota leading 7-3 here in the first quarter. 49ers drove from their 20. Finally kicked the field goal. The Vikings came right back on a kickoff return to the 11 and then went in to score. Cap back to pass. Hit as he throws. Incomplete. As it was intended over the middle for Beasley. It was over his head, and Phillips was downfield, made a dive for it, couldn't get it. 49ers are starting to get to Cap, but he, like Roman Gabriel, a strong fellow, and it's tough to knock him off his feet unless you get a head-on shot. 100% greaseless Vitalis now available in the concentrate form, too. Both keep your hair neat without grease. The Joe Cap, the former star from California, directing the Minnesota attack. Gene Washington goes out wide to the far side as a split end. Paul flanked to the near side outside the tight end Beasley. Back to pass Cap. Straight back he goes. He is going to run. He is grabbed by Belk as he gets to the 46-yard line of the 49ers, short of the first down. Bill Belk chasing him as Hyman puts the pressure on. Cap had to try to run out of trouble, and Belk caught him. Made the tackle just outside the 46. It'll be fourth down for Minnesota as Fuller goes back in safety, along with Kermit Alexander. Back to do the kicking is King Hill. Gets a kick away, wobbly kick to Alexander at the 11, tries to get back, gets a block, gets another block, gets a clip down at the 3-yard line, and is tackled at the 9. A clip called on Forrest Blue down at the 2-yard line. And so the 49ers will have to start from their own 1. No, they're going to put it at the 2. So it's a clipping penalty against San Francisco. And it will be a first and 10 for the 49ers at the 2. In the first quarter, Denver 14, Oakland 7. And timeout taken on the field. A look at the scoreboard with 5:29 remaining to play. In the first quarter, the Vikings 7, the 49ers 3.
Ken Willard, tell me something. There's some tough guys in the National Football League, but for you, who are the toughest?
I tell you, I might get in trouble about this because there's so many I respect, but I think anybody in the right mind has to respect people like Deacon Jones and Ray Nitschke and Dick Butkus. These three people particularly have given me the most problems, and I would be very happy to go a whole ball game and never see them.
Well, I sure don't blame you there, Ken. Say, I notice your hair is kind of thin on top, though. Do you have any recommendations for guys like you?
Well, I tell you, I've always wondered why Vitalis has never done something with people with thin hair. Because people have asked me, what I do for my hair, and I've always said I catch it as it falls. And Vitalis is great for people with thin hair, as well as for people with, thick heads of hair. And it really works well.
49ers deep in their own territory now at their 2-yard line. First and 10 for the 49ers. Lewis and Willard, the back behind Brody. And Lewis is in motion, and there will be a penalty against the 49ers. Lewis jumped too soon, and then the Vikings moved across the line of scrimmage to make contact. It's a penalty back to the 1. So it'll be first down and 11. Now, if you're going to make a drive, you might as well make a good one. This is 99 yards away. Witcher flanked out to the near side. McNeil is split to the left side. Brody to Willard. Straight up the middle. Breaking tackles to about the 7. Willard running straight ahead. And tackled as he got up there by Krause, Volsky, and Page at the 7. It will be a 6-yard gain, second down and 5. Second down, 5, the 49ers at the home 7. Brody back to pass, looks for the quick one. Now is in trouble. He's hit, and he's going to be wrestled down by Page back at the 4-yard line. Vikings came sailing through there, and Brody eluded the first one. The Page got him, and Larson helped out. And it's at the 4. It'll be third down now for San Francisco, and they have to go to the 12, so it's an 8-yard third and 8 situation. 4:40 remaining to play in the first quarter. 7-3, the Vikings lead. Witcher goes wide to the left, and Crow comes out to the near side. Split wide with McNeil slotted inside him. Lewis and Willard, the backs behind Brody. John gives to Lewis. Finds a little hole, jumps over a man, goes almost to the first down, but it stops at the 11-yard line. I think he's going to be short of the first down. Gary almost breaking that one for the first down, but he's short by a yard, and it will be a kicking situation. Gary jumped right over a couple of tacklers at the line of scrimmage, almost made it out, enough to get 49er yardage, but couldn't quite do it, so Spurrier will have to do the punting. As West and Bryant will be the deep men for the Vikings. 49ers locked in bad field position here. Spurrier standing in his own end zone for this kick. Pass from center, a good one. Spurrier gets the kick away. Hangs it up there, fair catch signal, and the catch is made at the 45-yard line of the 49ers by Charlie West. So the Vikings in good shape at San Francisco's 45 as they take over first and 10. Cap will come in to do the quarterbacking. Joe will have Osborne and Brown in the backfield with him. Hall flanked to the far side. Washington split left to give to Brown. To the outside he goes and is knocked out. Fumbled the ball. A scramble for it. The whistle is blown at the 42-yard line. The ball popped out of his arm, but the officials ruled that the whistle had blown before he lost the ball. It's at the 42, about a 3-yard gain. Second and 7. We'll pause for station identification. It's the Golden West Radio Network.
You say you want music and humor and love, a little kindness and understanding on the radio. Pete Scott, 4 to 8 on. KSFO in San Francisco. Second and 7 situation from the 42. Cap with Brown and Osborne behind him.
Gives to Brown on the delay. Caught behind the line of scrimmage. Gets a yard. As Ed Beard, the middle linebacker, slowed him down, and then Lake and Wilcox and a couple of the other 49ers were there at the 41. So it's a yard game. It'll be third down now and 6 for the Vikings.
In the last two ball games, the 49er defense has gone complete in every form of defense you can put on the field. They've been using an odd 4-3 defense in the last two ball games for the first time last week.
Third down, Cap back to pass. The 49ers trying to rush. He looks, he throws over the middle, incomplete. And now a drop pass interference is called against Alexander, I believe, or let's see if it's going to be against Alexander or against Washington at the 27-yard line. And that is going to be the call of Minnesota. So the ball is at the 27, first and 10 for the Vikings. That pass overthrown. And as the ball went over Washington's head, the call made on pass interference. Cap back to pass. Looks for Washington. Throws. Completes it to Washington. Washington at the 20. Trying to get to the outside. Trying to get a block. Is caught from behind by Hindman and knocked out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Washington was sort of jogging around the middle of the field. Had 3 or 4 blockers in front of him. Was trying to find a lane to run through. But Hindman knocked him out of bounds at the 17. It'll be close to the first down. This will bring the ball in. See, it is short by just a matter of inches of being a first down. The Vikings on the move here. Jim Tunney is the referee. Lou Palazzi, the umpire. Tom Hensley, the head linesman. Dick Jorgensen, the line judge. The back judge, Fred Silva. Field judge, Dick Dulles. Second down and inches for the Vikings. The give to Osborne on a sweep. Cuts in. Good cutback. Beard drags him down, but he gets inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. Randolph came in, tried to make the tackle, but he eluded Randolph, and he got the first down at the 14. Minnesota will have it first and 10. Billy Martin has come in as a tight end for blocking purposes. Goes out. And back in is Tom Hall as a receiver. So that's the 14 of the 49ers. First and 10 Minnesota. The Vikings lead 7-3. Vikings battling for that Central Division championship. The give to Osborne. Not much of a hole. Gets a yard or two down, probably a couple down to the 7. Matt Hazelton had his shoulder in there. Lakes, Hyman, that's underneath it all. And just now getting up. The defensive tackle, Charlie Kruger. So he stopped them at the 7. It's a gain of 2. It'll be second down and 8. I say the 7 to 12, I should say. Stop them at the 12. For a gain of 2, it'll be second and 8. Ball at the 12-yard line of the 49ers. As Hall goes wide to the right. Osborne and Brown, the back behind Cap. Second down situation. Cap is back to pass. He looks. He fakes once, then throws, completes it to Beasley, who's tackled by Wilcox. Beasley and Wilcox running into each other, and Cap just laid the ball up there. Beasley turned around and made the catch at the 2-yard line. That'll be first and goal.
They were putting what they call a pick pattern. The wide receiver was trying to come in and pick Randolph off of Beasley, and Beasley just went out into the flat, but he actually ran into Wilcox. Beasley was covered, Wilcox was looking for the ball, and by the time he got it under control, the ball was in Beasley's hand.
Hardy goes in defense, replacing Belk as the gun sounds ending the first quarter. Look at the scoreboard. So the Vikings 7, the 49ers 3. Great man, imagine being marooned. First and goal for the Vikings. Cap at quarterback has Brown and Osborne, the back behind him. Long count by Cap to Brown. He is knocked down right at about the line of scrimmage as Johnson and Phillips were there to hit him. Osborne trying to lead the blocking, but they stopped him right at the line of scrimmage. It's no gain. It'll be second down and goal. Second and goal for the Vikings. That's the 49er 2. Kevin Hardy has replaced Bill Bell. And Hardy's playing inside now with Lake playing the outside as a defensive end. Hardy playing on the inside attacking. Second and goal. To give it to Osborne. He is hit by Ed Beard and knocked down. Randolph underneath, but Ed Beard spotted him, came over and belted him right at the 2-yard line. That'll be third down and goal, no gain. Beard really moved in there to make a good tackle. It was clear that Osborne might have some room, but Beard plugged up the gap. Third and goal. Paul comes out wide to the near side. Tight ends in there now. Martin and Beasley. Cap on a rollout. He's going to get in for the touchdown. Joe Cap carrying him south. They've got the block on the cornerback, and he got just into the corner. Beard and Phillips gave chase. So Joe Cap on the rollout scores going to the far side. And the Vikings take a 13-3 lead, and will try for the extra point. Fred Cox to try for the extra point. Placed down, kick, and it's good. So the Vikings take a 14-3 lead here at the start of the second quarter. Hugh?
Well, it looks like it possibly could be a ball game like last week where Green Bay took command right off the bat and marched the ball down and had going at the halftime. It was 20-7. So the 49ers still have an opportunity to be able to come back. The Vikings look much stronger this year than they have in the past years. It appears that they have arrived, and certainly a very strong contender for their division. And of course, they have to win the next two ball games if Chicago wins today and next week. And of course, even if they do win and tie with Chicago, Chicago will still win their division because they have beaten Minnesota twice.
Might say hello to Mr. and Mrs. Leroy Richardette who are here. They won a contest up in Anchorage, Alaska, sponsored by KBYR up there. And Mr. and Mrs. Jerry Vazina are also here with them enjoying the football game. So welcome to them. Clem Daniels takes the kickoff at the 6, up the middle of the 20, hits to the 25-yard line, driven backwards. May have gotten just to the 25 before he's thrown back. So it'll be first and 10 for the 49ers at their own 25, trailing 14-3. Trans Gold has been discovered at Chevron Island. Island Gold Fine China. Beautiful, translucent white, edged in gold. Island Gold Fine China, only $1.29 for a 4-piece setting. A golden opportunity if ever there was one. Willard and Lewis, the backs behind Brody. McNeil to the far side, Witcher to the near side. Brody is back to pass. He's looking for Willard. Sets up the screen. Willard trying to get a block. Goes to the 30. Breaks the tackle. 35 to the 40. Bumps off his feet. Out of bounds at the 41-yard line. Knocked out by Ed Sherotman. It's the first down for San Francisco.
This is the quick screen again to the left. Instead of using the halfback, they used the fullback, and Willard did a real fine job running with that football, splitting two blocks, and Witcher did a fine job screening the man off. Willard just made the wrong move to the outside, possibly would have cut back the inside, would have helped Witcher with his block.
First and 10 at the 41. Lewis and Willard. The back behind Brody. Throw slotted the far side, in motion, coming into the inside as Willard gets the handoff, is bumped off his feet as he goes to about the 43 or 44-yard line. He was hit by Krause and Marshall at the 43 and knocked down there. So it'll be second down and 8. 49ers trailing 14-3, trying to get a drive going here in the second quarter. 12 minutes, 10 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Mosley, center over the ball. Second and 8 situation. Witcher to the near side. McNeil flank to the far side. Willard and Lewis are the back split behind Brody. And now the Minnesota jump. The ball is handed to Brody. There's a scramble as Eller and Page tackle Lewis. Brody gives the ball to Lewis. And let's see if it's going to be. It's against the Vikings, 5 yards. So it moves it up to the 48-yard line. So it'll be second down and a 3 for San Francisco at its own 48. Second and 3. McNeil wide to the far side. McBee to cover him. And Witcher split to the near side with Sherotman guarding him. Brody fakes back to pass. He's in trouble. He throws out here to Lewis. Lewis fakes the catch. Gets away from one man. Tries to get away from another. Down the near side of the 40. Fakes away. Goes to the 45. Out of bounds at the 46. What a run he made to lose about 3 yards. Brody, as they put the blitz on, turned around and he was in trouble. He got the ball away to Lewis. Lewis bobbled the ball, had his back to the line of scrimmage. Bobbled the ball, almost dropped it. Caught it, was surrounded by 3 men, got away from them, came to the near side, runs it to the 45-yard line where it'll be third down and 6. He lost 3 yards. Now the Vikings put in an extra deep man, Dale Hackbach. That's what they feel is a passing situation on third and 6 for the 49ers. Back to pass Brody. Throws out here, completes it to Willard, who makes a good catch, goes to the 50, to the 46-yard line of the Vikings. But Brody fired that ball, and Willard made a good catch in traffic to move to the Minnesota 46 for a first down.
He hit Willard, was in the left halfback position, swung tight, circle around his left end, and about at the line of scrimmage. Brody let the ball go, and he let it go very direct, very quick, and Willard was there and made a nice catch.
First and 10, the 49ers at the Viking 46, Minnesota 14, the 49ers 3, and the second quarter. Witcher splits the near side, McNeil flanked to the far side. Brody gives to Lewis on a sweep, blockers in front and gets by Eller, cuts in, tries to break a tackle, spins free and goes to the 37. Lonnie Warwick, the middle linebacker, had a hold of him. Lewis spun out of his grasp but fell down at the 37. So it's a gain of about 9 yards. It'll be second down and a yard. Gary's really running hard today.
Gary is. It's the hardest I've seen him run so far this year, and it looks like it might be Gary's day, whether 49ers win or lose, but he certainly has the desire to, when he has that football in his arm this afternoon.
Lewis comes out to the near side now. It's a split end. McNeil slotted inside him, and Witcher flanked to the far side. Second and 1. Brody back to pass on second and 1. Throwing long out here for McNeil. He's on foot. It's overthrown. McNeil had his man beat. He was out in front of Paul Krause, and Brody's pass was just a little bit too long. So it'll be third and 1.
When 49ers go into what they call a double wing with one back in the left in the backfield, which is Ken Willard, where they bring Lewis and spread him out clear to the wide, put Clifton McNeil on the inside, Witcher wide to the right side with the Crow, the tight end position on the right side. It forces the defense to go into a man-for-man situation. And this is why they're going into this type of offense, to give the situation for McNeil so that he can beat almost any man on a man-for-man situation.
Third and 1, ends in tight. And, boy, the Minnesota defense really jammed up, and there Willard has the first down as he drives down to the 32. Tackled by Paul Krause. And it's the first and 10 for San Francisco. The Vikings jammed up in tight. Willard slanted to the outside, makes the first down, and now Warwick comes back into the lineup for the Vikings in the middle linebacker position. John Kirby goes out. Hilgenberg is playing the right corner linebacker, and Warwick in the middle linebacker position. First and 10 at the 32. They give to Willard. There's no hole. He gets a yard or so, and that's all. Willard and to Warwick and Larson and Hilgenberg. And it's at the 31 where it'll be second down and 9. 49ers trail 14-3, 9 minutes and 16 seconds for the clock run here in the first half. McNeil goes wide to the far side, and Witcher splits to the near side. 49ers go from our right to our left here in the second quarter, trailing 14-3. Brody fakes a draw, throws out here to Lewis on the screen, tries to get a block. Lewis has to jump over man, gets free from another one, goes out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Lewis couldn't figure out exactly what he wanted to do with those two blockers in front of him, and finally wound up going out of bounds at the 25.
That's a tough situation. As he got the ball, he had both of his blockers out in front of him with two Viking men in front of Mosley and Collette. And as he got the ball, he was too close to his blockers to really make any type of move to set up the block, and he just found himself in congestion. And though he did a good job in what he did by jumping and getting out of a little trouble and picking up some good yards on a quick screen to the left.
Third down now and 3 from the 25. 49ers faced with that third down situation again, trailing 14-3. Brody changing the call at the line of scrimmage. He gives to Willard. Willard has the hold of the 20-yard line. Inside the 20 to the 19. Quick opener up the middle. Mosley gave him a big block. As Mosley cut down Dave. And moving through that hole, Willard picked up the first down.
The play was off tackle. It was designed to go to the left, outside of Lynn Rohde. But this is where Ken Willard is great. He changed his direction. He ran to daylight and broke back and went over Mosley's good block.
McNeil flanked to the near side. Witcher split right. First and 10. Brody back to pass. Throws out here to Willard on a screen. Lewis gives him a block. He's down to the 11-yard line. McPhee makes the tackle there with some help from Wallach. It's at the, let's see, it's going to be placed at the 12-yard line, so it'll be second down and about 3. Ever dream of a fresh, inviting island in the sun? Then come to Chevron Island under the standard sign. The natives are friendly, the gasoline wild. About 2.5 yards to go, not quite 3, at the 12. Willard and Lewis, the backs behind Brody. McNeil flanked to the near side. Witcher split to the right. John, long count. John gives to Lewis. He hits inside the 10 to about the 8. Should have the first down. Gary tackled by Kosalski and Kraus. And Wallach has the first down at the 8. First and goal for the 49ers from the Viking 8. 7:13 remaining in the first half. 14-3, Minnesota lead. 49ers on their first drive got down to the 3, but an incomplete third down pass forced them to go for a field goal, which they made, but now the Vikings come back to score twice, lead 14-3. Now the 49ers threaten from the 8. Brody to Lewis. Lewis down to the 5, maybe not quite to the 5. I guess he didn't make it there. He's trying to jam ahead, but there were a lot of bodies there, and it's going to be placed short of the 5-yard line. Carl Eller, Roy Winston, and Larson in there. The ball is just inside the 6, so it'll be second down and goal from a little over 5 yards out. 6:19 remaining. The clock moves here in the first half. 14-3, the Vikings lead. Long huddle by the 49ers. I'll be drawing this one on the ground. McNeil flanks to the near side. Witcher split to the right. Brody on second down and goal. John to Lewis. Lewis dives through down to maybe the 2-yard line. Delayed a little bit, looking for the hole. Found it, followed Willard through, and gets down to... It'll be placed if it's inside the 3. No, they're going to put it right at the 3-yard line, so it'll be third down and goal from the 3. Third and goal. The 49ers at the same spot they were on their first drive. Third and goal from the 3-yard line. Back split. Willard and Lewis behind Brody. McNeil flanked to the far side. Ends in tight. John fakes. He's back. He's looking. He throws out here and overthrows Witcher again. That'll be fourth down, and the 49ers will send to their field goal kicking team again. Twice, Brody has missed that little pass to Dick Witcher down there on the goal line. So Tommy Davis goes in to try the field goal. with 5:17 remaining in the first half. Vikings 14, the 49ers 6.
Follow the call of the wild. Come to Chevron Island. Gasoline, wild.
Come to Chevron Island. Near to where you are. A friendly kind of island with fresh spirit for your car.
Come to Chevron Island. To nature the friendly. The gasoline, wild. Follow the call of the wild. Einmal Ichimoku Aina O Chevron, which means come to Chevron Island under the standard sign.
Here's some scores. Game's underway in the American League. At the end of the first quarter, Denver 14 and Oakland 7. In the second quarter, Kansas City 14, San Diego 3. Miami beat Boston 38-7, New York 27 to Cincinnati 14. In the National League, Cleveland 24, Washington 21. St. Louis 28, New York 21. Detroit 24, Atlanta 7. Philadelphia 29, and New Orleans 7. Bryant and West waiting for this kickoff by Davis. And it's a deep one. Back to Bryant. 3 yards deep. He's going to come out with it. Up to the 10, to the 15. Vaults over a man, but knocked off his feet by Voigt. He lands at the 19, and there's a penalty flag drop. Penalty flag dropped. It'll be clipping, I guess, against the Vikings. And it'll be marched off against Minnesota. The 9-yard line of the Vikings after the penalty. It'll be 1st and 10 for Minnesota at its own 9. Osborne and Brown, the back behind Cap. Washington split to the left. They give to Brown, trying to sweep to the outside, tries to cut in, dragged down by Belt as he crosses the 10 to about the 11. So it will be a 2-yard gain, 2nd down and 8. Second and 8. The Vikings at their own 11. First half, 4 minutes, 40 seconds remaining. 14-6. Minnesota leads. Washington comes out to the near side. He is split now just a couple of yards. And Hall flanks to the far side. Give to Osborne on a sweep, trying to get to the outside. Cuts in, goes to the 15. And Matt Hazeltine knocks him down there along with Belt at the 15. So it'll be 3rd down and 4. 3rd and 4 at the 15 for the Vikings. 49ers defense now has Heinman, Hardy, Lake, and Belt across the line. Hardy playing at left tackle in place of Charlie Kruger. Tom Hall to the near side. 3rd down and 4. Cap with Brown and Osborne behind him. Cap. Back to pass. He looks. Here's time. He's throwing long out here. The 49ers have good coverage. Oh, but it's caught by Washington. As the 49ers had 2 men on Washington, they both went long. The pass was short, and Washington made the catch. They had perfect coverage on it. Phillips and Alexander both went deep, and the ball was short. Washington came back and made the catch, and it's a 1st down at the 49ers 35. Well, there's no reason in the world that one should have been complete. So it's 1st and 10. Again to Osborne. He goes to the 30-yard line. About a 5-yard gain. Just outside the 30, so give him 4, make it 2nd and 6. 2 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the first half. If you've ever seen a pass that was complete that wasn't complete. That was it. From the time it left Joe Cap's hands, it was incomplete. Cap back to pass. Straight back he goes. Has time. Throws long out here now for Hall. Jim Johnson is there. Bats it away. Tom Hall and Jim Johnson running stride for stride. And it will be third down now, and it's brought back to the 31-yard line. Third and 6 for the Vikings. In Los Angeles in the second quarter, the Chicago Bears 3. The Los Angeles Rams nothing. Third down and 6. Cap is straight back to pass. They try to rush. He throws over the middle. He completes it to Beasley. Beasley knocks off his feet by Randolph, has the first down at the 12-yard line.
Beasley's got a nice turn-in pattern about 10 yards deep. Phillips actually had him covered as he planted his foot to come up on the ball. He slipped and fell down, and it shows that the field is starting to get a bit heavy, and the footing is not as good as it was as when the game started.
Timeout for the 2-minute warning to both benches. A look at the scoreboard. There's 2 minutes left in the first half. The Vikings 14, the 49ers 6.
Say, fans, of all the islands in the world, how many can you drive to? Give up? Well, I can think of thousands. Thousands of Chevron islands all over the West, where the natives are friendly as gasoline wild. In fact, the natives are so friendly, you'll honestly think you're basking in the warmth of a real Polynesian smile. That's the sort of reception you're in for when you come to Chevron Island. And as for your car, you'll wonder where all that pickup came from after filling up with any one of the 3 top grades of Chevron gasoline. So follow the call of the wild. Come to Chevron Island under the standard sign.
Come to Chevron Island, here's to where you are, a friendly kind of island with fresh air for your car.
Denver leading Oakland 17-7 in the second quarter, kicking a 48-yard field goal. Roland Lakes comes out. Charlie Kruger goes in. The Vikings have it first and 10 at the 49er 12-yard line. To this point, a rather questionable defensive effort by the 49ers as they've given up big chunks of yardage to the Vikings, who have it now. First and 10 at the 49er 12. Washington is wide to the left. Hall flanked to the near side. Cap gives to Brown on a draw. Brown hit by Hardy behind the line of scrimmage. Kevin Hardy gets him. He got maybe a yard. About a yard. It'll be second down, solid 9. 14-6. The Vikings lead with just a minute and 40 seconds remaining. They are in field goal position if they can't go in for the 6th. Washington the far side, Hall to the near side now. Cap, second down. Cap back to pass. He's looking. He's in trouble. He gets away. Hardy grabs him and knocks him down at the 14-yard line. Kevin Hardy, as Kruger was putting pressure on, and Kevin Hardy came around with good speed to grab Cap. Cunningham and Daniels, the deep men, waiting for the kickoff by Fred Cox. 17-6, the Vikings lead in the first half with 51 seconds left. As ready to go, and Cox moves forward to kick the ball. Lost it high in here and run it short to Cunningham at the 9, up to the 10, to the 15. Cunningham comes to the outside, trying to cut in, cuts in, and knocks off his feet at the 31. It was against the Vikings that Cunningham put on a great performance last scored on a punt return and a run from scrimmage. 49ers have it at 31 with 45 seconds left. Clock starts to run now. Moving down to 35 seconds. They're at their own 31-yard line. And now Cunningham and Crow getting mixed up. Now Crow moves over to the near side. Cunningham in that backfield. Back to pass. Brody lays it off to Tucker. Tucker is hit by McPhee behind the line of scrimmage at the 26-yard line. Had no chance as they tried to make the quick screen. The 49ers call a timeout with 18 seconds left. They tried to set up that quick screen to Tucker, and McPhee was waiting for it. Threw in for a loss of 5 yards. The 49ers take timeout. More and more people are going to the islands this year. So should you. There's a Chevron Island just around the corner where the natives are friendly. The gasoline is wild. Hugh.
Long.
Chuck.
The scoop. The Minnesota Vikings are what they call a prevent defense. As the ball is snapped, the three deep backs of the Vikings will just fall back, trying to prevent a deep pass by the 49ers. They will give up the short pass, but relying on the linebackers to cover the short area, zone area. They will not go man to man. They'll stand in zone defense.
Back to pass Brody. He's looking. He's in trouble, and down he goes. The ball wrestled out of his arm, but the play was stalled dead as Alan Page knocked Brody down back at the 12. Jim Marshall complaining that they took the ball away from Brody and that it should be the Vikings' ball, but the officials will have none of it. So it is third down and lots of yards to go. And the 49ers probably won't say anything. 15 seconds left. Timeout is taken by Minnesota, though. They want to get a hold of the ball.
Well, it's a good opportunity. The ball is very slick. There's a possibility of fumble, and with the rush that the Minnesota Vikings have been able to put on John Brody in the second quarter, it is possible they have a chance of getting the ball, and if they do in this position, they certainly have a chance to a field goal. But I'm sure the 49ers at this point will not probably put the ball in the air. They'll probably keep it on the ground, running the clock out, trying to collect themselves at halftime and come back starting the third quarter and try to put the game together as it should be played. Offensively and defensively, they've been doing good things, but they've been getting sloppy at certain situations, giving up key third down situations, especially by the 49ers. The 49ers have had two opportunities to score, but it's a third down situation that they could not come through with.
Third down, the ball back at the 13-yard line where Brody was caught. John gives off to Gary Lewis, tries to break free, gets up to the 20, scrambles to about the 23-yard line, and the Vikings call timeout there with 9 seconds remaining. And the 49ers, trailing 17-6, will have to give up the ball here. Steve Spurrier will go ahead and do the punting. 17-6, the Vikings in front. 49ers scored first, taking the opening kickoff and driving down to 3 points. But then the Vikings bounced back and dominated since. In the second quarter, with 5 minutes left in the first half, the Rams 7, the Chicago Bears 3. Dave Spurrier to do the punting. 49ers jump offside, and there'll be a 5-yard penalty against San Francisco. Then the ball is moved back to the 18-yard line. Illegal procedure, the call against the 49ers. West and Bryant are the deep men waiting for Spurrier's kick. Pass from center. Try to block it. He gets it away. Fair catch called for by Bryant at the 43-yard line of the Vikings. Now, they could get a free kick if they wanted it here with 3 seconds left. That'd be quite a long free kick, whether it's free or not. It would be a 57-yard field goal attempt. But after a fair catch, you are allowed to set up for a free kick if you want, meaning that the defense cannot try to block it. They have to give you a no man's area to allow you to set up the kick. Alexander goes back at the safety. And they're going to try a free kick that will have to travel 57 yards against the wind. So Cox will get a chance to run up, kick the ball like he would on a kickoff. So there's the possibility, of course, that he can carry it that far if he runs up to kick it. I don't know if they've ever done this sort of thing before. 49ers under Frankie Albert made this call here at the end of the first half of a ball game. Now Cox is going to try with Krause holding at the Vikings 47. He moves forward and he kicks, and it will not be long enough. Alexander comes up, makes the catch at the 10. He comes to the 20, to the 23, and nobody fought. When Alexander came up there, the blocker was just standing there, let the man go through, and he tackled Alexander at the 23. So the gun sound. The 49ers were offside on the kickoff. Dropped back down at the 49ers 40. And I guess the 49ers will kick off again. That's going to be the situation. They will have to kick off from the 35-yard line. The ball will be placed back at the 35. And Davis will have to kick off again. Kicking into the wind. 49ers are going to have to come up with the same type of comeback they made last week against Green Bay if they're to win this one. They fell 17-6. Tommy Davis will have to kick off from 5 yards farther back, and he's ready to go. So West and Bryant move up to their own 10-yard line. Here's the kick very high and short into the wind. It's West up at about the 15, comes to the 20, to the 30, breaks the tackle, goes to the 35, to the 39-yard line. Tommy Davis knocked him off his feet, and Tommy Hart fell on him. At the 39, a Viking, Minnesota Viking is shaken up, and it was Steve Smith that has to be assisted off the field. First and 10, the Vikings at their own 39, so they gained 14 yards after the 49ers were penalized 5 yards for offsides on the kick. Hall goes out wide to the far side as a flanker outside Beasley. Joe Kapp, the quarterback. Kapp gives Osborne on a sweep, cuts in. Wilcox waits for him and stops him right at the 39-yard line. Wilcox rode off the blocker and grabbed him around the waist. Bill Belk came over to assist Wilcox. It's second down and 10. 39-yard line of the Vikings. They lead 17-6 to the Vikings in the second half here, the start of the third quarter. Second down situation. Hall flanked to the near side. Washington splits the right. Give on a sweep to Osborne. Cuts in. Belk waits for him and punches him at the 38-yard line. Boy, Belk went right through Beasley, the blocker, and knocked down Osborne for a loss of a yard. It'll be 3rd and 11. And Hall is injured down here. Hall, who came downfield to block, is really shaken up, and he's being assisted off the field by his teammate. And timeout is going to have to be taken by the Vikings. The timeout is taken as Tom Hall downfield block was shaken up, and the Vikings take timeout. Look at the scoreboard with 13:19 remaining in the third quarter. The Vikings 17, the 49ers 6. With just 3 little words, you can become a wine expert. Well, maybe not 3 little words, but here they are: Napa, Sonoma, and Mendocino. These 3 words are the names of the 3 counties in Northern California where the finest premium table wine grapes are grown. Put them all together, You get the fine wines with the forgettable names. Italian Swiss colonies, Napa, Sonoma, Mendocino, premium table wines. Burgundy, Chablis, and Vin Rosé in the classic decanter bottle. Yes, if you want to become a wine expert, just remember the wines with the big name that comes from the little corner of California where the great grapes grow. Napa, Sonoma, Mendocino, premium table wines from Italian Swiss colony, Aspen, California. Third down and 11 for the Vikings. Cap, back to pass, straight back he goes. Fakes once, looking on it, throws the screen to Brown. Hazeltine waits for him, tackles him, a fumble. Let's see, the Vikings got it at the 41. Matt Hazeltine did a good job waiting for that screen. Knocked Brown off his feet. Then Maloney recovered it at the 41. It was fourth down, and the Vikings are forced to punt. Hugh McElhenney, I don't care what this fan said about you when you went on the field at halftime. I thought you was great. Here's a punt by Hill. Alexander takes it back at the 12, bluffed by one man. Can't get by three more and is smacked at the 17. Moving it to the 17-yard line where it'll be first and 10. There from the crowd, the score we gave you earlier, the Bears 10, the Rams 7. In the second quarter, Denver 20 and Oakland 17. 49ers trail 17-6. In the third quarter, first and 10. The give is to Ken Willard. Drives straight ahead across the 20 to about the 21-yard line. Willard picking up about 4 yards. If they give him all the way to the 21, it'll be second down. Well, it's just across the 20, so it's second down about 6.5. San Francisco trailing 17-6. Start of the third quarter. Witcher comes out to the near side with McPhee to cover him. Witcher is the flanker. Lewis splits wide to the left, and McNeil slotted inside him. Willard's the lone back behind Brody. John back to pass. Penalty flag. It's intercepted by Sherrockman. He is to the 20, to the 15. Knocked off his feet by McNeil at the 10. A penalty flag was dropped. Let's see if it's against the 49ers. And I believe it is. It is a holding penalty. And it's inside the 10. The Vikings take over first and goal. Brody got that one right to Sherrockman. Standing there and hit him perfectly with it for the interception. So the Vikings take over as the 49ers again make the big mistake, and Minnesota has it first and goal from the 9, leading 17-6. Belt, Lake, Kruger, and Heinman across the line for the 49ers. Cap gives off to Osborne, plunges down to about the 5-yard line. They squirted through for about 4 yards. We'll pause for station identification. It's the Golden West Radio Network. Ball was placed at the 6. It's second and goal for the Vikings from the 6-yard line. Cap for the long count. Gives to Brown. Brown hit at the 5-yard line. Submarined in there by Kruger and Beard. And it's right at the 5. It'll be third and goal for the Vikings at the 49ers 5-yard line. 17-6, the Vikings lead. Their pass interception setting up here for a possibility of increasing that lead. Tom Hall comes back into the lineup, so although he was shaken up, it wasn't serious. He's back in an offensive end position for the Vikings, and he goes wide to the right as a flanker. Washington split left. Third down and goal from the 5. Cap rolling out. Looking for someone to throw to. He's going to run. And everybody turns it back, and in he goes for the score. And Cap is shaken up as he was tackled as he crossed the goal line.
Jones to take over this running spot that was so badly needed by the Minnesota Vikings. But Osborne does not give up his running back position as of last year. He's just doing a real good job. He's not a real fast boy, but he's a very steady, consistent football player. He's an excellent blocker, a good pass receiver, and he follows his blocking exceptionally well. Dave Osborne, he's from North Dakota. He's 6 foot tall, weighs 209 pounds, 25 years old, and he's in his 4th year of professional football, all 4 years with the Minnesota Vikings. 3rd down and goal from the 7. Snap gives up to Osborne. Osborne is hit at the 6-yard line and stopped there. So it'll be 4th down as Hayes and Randolph were there. The Vikings now will go for the field goal. They can kick this, it would put it out of the 49ers' reach, or pretty close to putting it out of their reach, because it would give the Vikings a 10-point margin. They lead 27-20 right now with 1 minute and 6 seconds remaining. This will be kicked from an angle from the far side as timeout has been taken again. Fred Cox will try for the field goal. This one will be from 13 yards. Krause to hold. Placed down, kicked, and it is good. So, a field goal by Fred Cox to make it a 30-20 ball game with 1 minute and 4 seconds remaining. The 49ers will take over on the kick. Dallas won today. Gives Dallas an 11-2 record. They have the Capital Division Championship clinch. Cleveland won today to clinch the Century Division Championship. Baltimore won yesterday, and the Rams are behind today. If the Rams lose, Baltimore will win the Coastal Division. Chicago is ahead of the Rams. Minnesota ahead of the 49ers. If each of those teams win, they will be still tied for the Central Division title. Fred Cox boots this one high to Cunningham at the 12, up to the 15, to the 20, to the outside, to the 25, to the 30, to the 35, pulled out of bounds at the 36-yard line, and it will be 1st and 10. Hilgenberg knocked him out of bounds at the 36. It'll be 1st and 10 for San Francisco at its own 36-yard line. 64 yards away with 58 seconds remaining. Oakland leads Denver now in the 3rd quarter 30-20. And Kansas City in the 4th quarter leads San Diego 40-3. Kansas City and Oakland, if they each win today, will remain tied for the Western Division in the American Football League lead. John Brody back to pass, lays it off to Tucker, cuts downfield, trying to get some blocking, gets to the 45, fumbles, and the Vikings have it. Roy Winston recovers at the 45-yard line of the 49ers. And the Vikings very happy, of course, as they have now clinched their win today and stay in contention for the championship. Minnesota at the 49ers 45, 1st and 10 after Winston recovers the fumble. And they will just run out the clock, just 20 seconds remaining. Joe Kapp holds onto the ball, knocked off his feet by Hayes, but all he wanted to do was just run out the time on the clock, and that's what he's doing. They will not get another play underway, just 5 seconds now, and the clock is running. There's the gun sounding the end of the game. Well, look at the scoreboard. Shows the Vikings 30, the 49ers 20.
When you see the players hit the field, they all look good. But as the game goes on, you single out the one who's really saying something. The one that moves just right, knows what to do, and can really put it out. Well, the same is true of cars, and when you look at the 69s, there's only one that comes out that way. The great new Chrysler. If excellence means a lot to you, then you know that Chrysler has just got to be your next car. From the longer, sleeker fuselage styling down to a brand new version of the Chrysler engineering tradition, Chrysler breathes greatness. It was unbeatable last year, and they've redesigned it to make it even better. More leg room is one way, more knee room, more shoulder room, so you get the most luxurious ride ever. Standard luxuries like the big 440 cubic inch V8 in the 300 and New Yorker, concealed windshield wipers that come out and even get that hard-to-reach area on the lower corner. Ours, just like a football player, it's got to keep improving itself to stay on top. Well, the unbeatable Chrysler has done that. See your Northern California Chrysler dealer. Take a great new Chrysler out for a test drive. You'll see what I mean when I say greatness.
Well, a frustrating afternoon for the 49ers, a great one for the Vikings, who remain in contention for the Central Division Championship. And today, again, the 49ers making enough mistakes to put themselves behind and having to try to come back. They made it exciting in the fourth quarter, but you can only come back so far. So, the ball club just lacks the consistency. It appears that they should have handled Minnesota today.
It did appear that they certainly could have handled Minnesota. It also appeared that they were flat. They weren't really putting their whole ball game together as they did in the last 3 weeks. They've had possibly a mental letdown this late in the season and coming up against a good ball club like the Minnesota Vikings. 49ers did a lot of things real well. Kevin Hardy is certainly getting his shot at seeing what he can do in this professional game of football and playing in the National Football League. He went almost all the way today. He played both tackles, giving Roland Lakes and Charlie Kruger a breather, and also going at defensive end. So he's certainly getting his shot, and he's very encouraging to watch him play and to look forward to next year. The 49ers did do some real good things offensively. The quick screens to the right worked very well for them. Brody seemed to be having a little bit trouble hitting his receivers. I believe Clinton McNeil only caught 3 passes all afternoon and none in the first half. And Brody was having trouble because the 49er offensive line was not really giving Brody the protection that he has had most of all year. Brody showed us some excitement as he got trapped, and we, to this point, cannot figure out how he got out of it, but he kept his feet, he fought hard, and he went and picked up some good yards, and we can say one thing good about today's ball game, that there was no injuries, and next week will be the last football game for John David Crow, the great All-Pro, and we'll be in Atlanta, Georgia, playing the Atlanta Falcons. So until next week, Lon, I'll see you in Atlanta.
That one ought to be a peach. Now this is Lon Simmons speaking on behalf of Hugh McElhenney, our engineers Lane King and Bob Dexter. The sportscast was produced and directed by Stu Smith, who toughed it out even though very sick with a tremendous case of the flu. He was brought over here by ambulance and still managed to produce and direct this broadcast. May we remind you that the station to which you're tuned will continue to bring you exciting professional football each week throughout the 1968 football season. Check your local newspaper radio log for the exact time. Next week, the San Francisco 49ers will meet the Atlanta Falcons. Now for a final look at the scoreboard that shows the Minnesota Vikings 30, the San Francisco 49ers 20. Please stay tuned for the 49er Press Box Review, which will follow in a few moments to see if Scoopy made it all the way. So we watch.